Man, I get so wildly off topic. I wanted to talk to you about music. And really, what I wanted to talk about is how I've been listening to music to try to understand what you like about it. And so, this is going to seem like a veer off topic, but I've been asking people what they like about the literature they like. Well, what do you like about the things you like? What is it that you like about it? And it doesn't seem to be the thing itself. It seems to be they like a momenta that the thing represents. And that's hard to talk about. Because then the thing they like becomes a talisman and they don't know it. And the longer you treat a talisman like something other than a talisman without knowing that it's a talisman, the faster it becomes an idol. And an idol that you don't know you're pouring your cognitive and spiritual energies into rapidly becomes a god. And so in the modern New Age nomenclature, that's called a tulpa, but there's an older word that I actually never learned. I see people use it, but I don't know it well enough to ever pull it up, and I'm not looking for it. But this is a real phenomenon that's been described for over 100 years by people in the know, and not unincluding Manly P. Hall. People get so mad when you bring up Manly P. Hall in a conversation. Go, oh, I don't care what that Canadian dickhead had to say. And it's like, okay, fine. That Canadian dickhead had read a lot more than you have, and he had talked to a lot more highly functioning, very successful wizards than you. You only know this one guy on Twitter, and you've read a couple of books. And so that brings me back to the media that you like. Why do you like the media you like? Okay, well, because it's a talisman. It's a ward against whatever that moment was that you think brought you to that particular media, or that media just happened to show up during. So talking about songs, like some of these songs I don't understand why people like. The song itself isn't particularly good. But then you listen to the actual ballad of it, right? You listen to the actual story that the songwriter is telling you, and it's like, oh, okay, well, the music kind of sucks, but what he's saying is this thing that can easily earworm itself into a moment, because a lot of them aren't about anything specific, but then some of them are about things that are deeply specific, like Adele. Music sucks. I don't think she's even a particularly good singer. All of her stuff is derivative of much better artists that I would just rather listen to the core artist, because I listen to media differently than you do. I have no problem going back and just listening to the source, because a lot of, like I said, a lot of my interests go all the way back into the pre-literate era. So I like to listen to what those things had to say once they became written down. So like if I get disappointed with an action movie, I'll go and read Gilgamesh, which is why Marvel has to compete at the level it does with the characters it does. Gilgamesh makes an appearance, and I watched for that reason. But my point is, the longer you hold on to that particular media because of a moment, the longer you're grieving that moment.